Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars week 39, day 6. It is a brown day. We are of course streaming a little bit earlier than we normally do, mainly because the Super Bowl is later tonight, and not only will I be watching it, which will mean we wouldn't be doing it at the normal time, but I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't want to watch a stream like this after the Super Bowl, nor would I really feel like doing one after it, so we're just going to be doing it now and get that problem solved. Also, why am I going all the way to PvP? It's just such a natural instinct, like every single time. It's like, oh, 2 PvP, let's go farm. But no, let's go run Brown Guild War Day. Guild War Brown, we're going to be running with same team we have been for the last few days, or last few weeks, I mean. Has been working out very nicely for us. Gorgotha, Corvash, Famine, High Forge, everything we need. Mash Drain, High Forge for damage, Gorgotha for mana, and yeah, just go from there. Banner. Yeah, that's the correct banner. We have it on the +2 Brown to go get a Gorgotha Rush, and then pretty much just move everything from there. And should be good. Also, hello William, hello Casper, welcome, welcome. I hope you all enjoy the game later today, for any of you that do watch. I'm mainly doing it for the commercials, but I probably will be watching a bit of the game as well. Let's see. The commercials, the food, and the halftime show. And we'll go through a Gorgotha down there. Oh, come on, go. So we got that down. What else do we need? He's pretty disabled at this point. Might as well just throw High Forge for damage. We could take a Brown as a backup Famine. Do we need it? Yeah, I'll take it, just in case. You never know when you'll need the backup Famine. So we'll get that there. We're probably not even going to need it. It's most likely just a wasted move, but oh well. But yeah, now we just have to keep poking him. A lot of disable. Not that much damage, though. This is a Brown team I do want to revamp in the future. My biggest issue with revamping it is there hasn't really been a good Brown damage source added to the game for a while now. So I haven't really had anything to replace anything with. So I'll take this yellow to Brown just to go get our mana up. And that's pretty much everything. He gets a bunch of blue, which he doesn't even use. He's using a little bit of a strange team to be running on a day like this. But oh well. Better for us. That is not enough damage to actually kill either of them. We'll need a Famine soon to go throw out his Famine. So we'll just wait till he gets mana. He's blocking his Famine so heavily. The only thing he can get is green into it. So we take that out that way. Now it's a little bit more unblocked. I do want him taking just a little bit more mana though, so we can one-shot him. Actually, never mind. We can one-shot him now. That we have just done that. So that gives us our extra little bit of mana. We almost got Gorgotha up. Should be able to manually take that, but just in case, let's go take it ourselves right there. He'll just die to the HP reduction. And yeah, that's pretty much match. Famine, Corvash, 1 poke dead. So have a Famine on Famine. Get a Corvash, and anything we do basically kills it, other than Gorgotha. And that's match. There we go. On to the next one. Slow but steady. It's probably like a 9,200, but I'll take that over a loss any day. Oh, all goblins. I run a pretty similar team right now too. For whatever reason. Someone made a comment on one of my videos too, and I think they deleted it after. I still got to see it because how YouTube like tracks the thingy, but I have no clue how. What is it about this team on Brown Day that's so horrible? Is it that the Syra just creates Brown and then the Nobin brother only has a 1 in 3 chance? That's the only thing I can think of. But then people do it with like on Yellow Day sometimes too, with like Grapple Pot. So I don't think that's exactly the case. Yeah, what makes this team so ridiculously bad on Brown Day? It doesn't have a single win, which I find really odd because absolutely everything has gotten a pretty steady, like 420. That's funny, all the 420s. But yeah, that's like the average that we're basically getting for every team, aside from this one, aside from the Nyx, the Forest Troll, Nyx, Kraken, Queen Mab. But that's understandable. That's just so ridiculous. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's up with that. I know it's really, really strong. It's pretty random if it does or does not win. I guess it's, easily counterable with Corvash and stuff. That's kind of why I moved the mana generator back some. But, I'm not quite sure what's exactly countering it out. Maybe Famine. But then again, Famine would have countered it on the other days too. Anyways, let's just get into the next battle. Still got the other 4. And let's go take out the Goblin team. Maybe if we fight the Goblin team, we'll see. Gob Tromper on Brown? Do people seriously run 4 times Gob Trompers? Do people actually do that? I made a joke about it earlier, but I mean that as in a score perspective. Is it even worth the amount of score that you would get running 4 times Gob Trompers? Like, what kind of score would you end up getting from that? I don't believe I've ever bothered doing that in actual Guild Wars, because I was afraid how low it would score. Or does it win so quickly that it doesn't get a low score? Because you have no mana generation with it. The enemy's going to out mana generate you, for sure, 100% of the time. Speaking of that, then again, even using a normal team against it's going to do the same thing. Also, thank you for the subscribe, James. Much appreciated. Okay, we have a slight issue here. I have no way of hitting that. Also, it's not worth high forging here. We might as well just go straight into Corvash. So we got our drain now. I'm saving that, of course, for her. Get our mana up a little bit more. I'll take the red to the yellow. Get that down. Oh, didn't mean to give it brown, but oh well. Not that big a deal. Keep everything alive. Throw the Corvash soon. She isn't really taking any mana. I wish she would, so we could just go drain it. I'll throw that down, get a Gorgolfa. Take that for free. Too bad we already had the mana. We'll go and take the skull right there. Excuse me. Of course, he agiles it. Fail. But we'll go do that. Get the Corvash down. And what else? We'll go throw the Gorgolfa. See if we can get a famine in there. And yes, we'll do that to get rid of all that HP. And now we can High Forge kill that later. One pretty nice thing about this team is you don't really need to worry about if famine kills or not, because you always have a way of poking it down. Because we have Corvash for the front two, and we have High Forge for the back two. So if any of them are not within kill range, you can just do that, and then boom, they're dead. And that takes care of it. Doomclaw has a 44% chance to devour someone in a cast. 6.25% to devour both. Why do you so underrate him? Well, everyone basically underrates him. It's mainly because you don't know which one is going to devour. That's, I think, the biggest thing. It's too random in that I'd almost rather have one 40% on something like a Cabarrus than two 25%, because it just has a... it's not necessarily a better rate of devouring, but it has a better rate of devouring the one you want to devour, which is really important. Oh yeah, it's stunned. I could just go right for it. That's the whole reason why I even have Corvash on one day like this, or just in general, so we can get those nice needed stuns. And that's match. Skull into a anything. And there it goes. Take the Corvash. Dead. Tomorrow's new patch? No, tomorrow's not a new patch. It's a new update. It's another weekly update thing. The patch isn't for a while. The patch for the next 3.3 patch, which is bringing in a lot of content, that's not coming till like the end of the month. We still have a good time away until we get that. But yes, we are getting an update tomorrow. At this current moment in time, we actually do not know what it is. All of the update threads have no information on them. Salty hasn't mentioned anything, and the official post isn't up yet. And since it's not later tonight, I won't be able to go over it tonight. Of course, we'll still be going over it in the morning and everything. But like right now, I can't go over it because it's not currently posted. So no one knows what it is. I believe it was supposed to be Forest of Thorns, but that could have just been them putting a placeholder on the spoiler thread. But I'm pretty sure no one knows what it is at the moment. Officially. Alright, we'll throw down the Corvash. Get the Gorgolfa going. Got our Famine, got our extra turn, perfect. What do we throw this on? Spider or Kraken? Which one's more annoying? Both. Let me do it on Spider, just because we might be able to get the High Forge cleanup. No, that's actually not enough damage. But oh well, we'll go take that. Go get down a... he's stunned, so I can actually kill him with that, so we will do so. We'll go take that. Now we have better Corvash range, so what we could do here is High Forge into Corvash, and then boom. Both of them go down. There we go. And now we just Gorgolfa and find the last little bit of damage we need for this. So we'll take a Skull. We're not entangled, so it's fine. Does that give him anything? No, it does not. It gives us the yellow, though. There we go. Oh, and a brown. And we'll just go throw the Corvash, get a Famine. Actually, we could just one-shot Famine if it takes a lot of mana. I'm not going to risk that. That would also make it so we'd have to give it a lot of mana. And down it goes. Off the lucky Explosion Cascade. Perfect. Also, hello everyone. Hello Casper. Hello Sean. Hello William. Hello RapPF. Hello Exos. Hello JZG. Hello Ali. Hello I already said Exos. Hello Vlad. Hello Say Good Game Well Played. And why is my chat not going all the way down? I can't even see the rest. There it is. Okay. Hello, everyone. What is a good dragon team to use with Dragon Soul and KrissTigger? Gorgolfa, KrissTigger, Dragon Soul, and one support troop in the last slot. You could use the new Glitter Claw. It's pretty popular and stuff like that. Works pretty nicely with it. You can also just simply use any kind of support troop to gain the mana. Or Shadow Dragon, or any of the other combination dragons. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a dragon either, it could just be anything. As long as it works with it. Hello, Nicholas! Hello, Antonio! Welcome, welcome. Double extra turn! There we go, very nice. Very lucky as well, but... well, the first one wasn't, that was just kind of there. That we can't take. The other one, there's no point in taking. I guess we could, actually. Take the blue into a double green chance. We barely need the mana, though, is the only problem with that. I'd rather go for actual mana. Because he's going to give us a 4 times anyways right there, so we'll do that. Take that. He'll give us that 4 times. And that gives us yet another stun. I will go drop this triple staircase. 1, 2... Oh, never mind. It cascaded. Well, we still got triple out of it. Just in a different fashion. So we go for a skull here. Do I even need a skull? Not really, but I'm still going to go for it. We have the Corvash, so that gets rid of those 2 main threats. You shouldn't get full mana right now. And there we go. We'll just go and throw the Corvash. I meant without an extra turn. If it got an extra turn there, that would have been so bad. But there wasn't really anywhere that it could have in that situation. That skull, we pretty much just leave there. I think we take the yellow just so it goes into Famine instead of Corvash. Oh, and we still got a full Corvash. And we got an extra turn off that somehow. Wow. Okay, I'll take it. We'll throw the Corvash, get Gorgolfa down, and go from there. Do we take a skull? That gets a kill. Yeah, we'll do it. I just need to make sure we get the man. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Rip. Anyways, now that that's gone, luckily we have Famine here to counter all that out, but still, if that goes again, that would not be good. That was actually avoidable too, but didn't quite work out that way. Which one's the biggest threat at this point? I guess work down the line. Yeah, we work down the line, so we'll start in first slot. That'll kill it with the explosion. Oh, don't you die, Gorgolfa. We need you. We don't... Oh, actually, we do have a summoner, but it's not a one that's going to particularly help us much. Okay. Do we let it kill Gorgolfa? I think the answer is actually yes, unfortunately. But for now, let's take one skull and let it not die. Oh, there we go. Yep, should have just let it die. I think it was safer just letting it die at that point. Okay, plan C. Let's see. Take skull, throw Corvash, and make sure that does not get a single cast ever again. We'll do that, just so it doesn't kill us. We throw the Corvash for the obvious mana reason. And then we High Forge. And now we need a Famine so we don't die. Would be nice. Well, that's blocking our Corvash very well. A very efficient block. We'll go take that. Gives us a skull. That is exact enough damage. Perfect. So we'll take that. And now we just need one Famine and we win. Problem with that is there's no mana for us to take. That actually goes into him. We need yellow and we need green, neither of which are available. Oh, there's a skull. Luckily we have a frontline tank now. But still. We'll take the yellow-brown, and that's enough to win off of. Now we have 2 ways to win. We'll go through a Famine, though. And down it goes. Well, that could have gone a lot better there. Wow. Haven't seen Yasmin get that bad in a Guild War lately. There is a freeze option that we could be running. That one Ice Golem thing. It's normally not worth it, though, because we'd have to replace out Corvash. And, hey, this is the team that I was using. Let's see how bad or good it actually is. Somehow it has gotten 0 wins today for me on my defense. I guess Scob Trumpers do just destroy it too hard. That means we'd have to go use it on a... I don't want to use it on Blue Day. That's like the only day I have free where I kind of don't like my team. And I can't really do that or else it's going to get frozen to death. Which would be the other problem with it. Okay, but anyways, let's go and see what we even have to do here. We'll go and move over. Actually, you know what? I should have thrown the 4 Gob Chompers at this just to test it, to see what happens. Okay, well, too late for that. Let's go and take away the blue. It's going to leave a lot of green. I'm actually not as afraid of the green. And he gives us a bunch of brown. Thank you very much. Maybe that's what it's doing, too. It might just be feeding so much brown to the enemy team that it auto-wins off of a Gurgultha or something. Which is basically what we're about to do right now. And take that one move. We got Famine. We got everything. Did we throw Famine first? If we do, it'd be on his second to last slot. Or on his second slot, just to make sure it doesn't heal as much. Or first slot, just to kill it. I think we actually do that one. That brings in the kill range. We'll take the green to the skull. And 1 down. Yellow over. Take free skull. We got Corvash ready. I'll wait 1 turn, though. It shouldn't be able to go all the way in 1 turn. We'll do that. There it goes. Throw a Corvash. And yeah, it does look like it's going to be a pretty easy win. I don't know, maybe just every brown team destroys it too hard, I guess. This could just be an outlier, but given that our team got 0-15, I probably should stop using goblins on this day then. Because even with our normal non-Gob Trumper team, it's falling pretty easily. The main reason I really like it is because you get the stun, so you don't ever have to worry about her stealthy. Out of every troop with stealthy, this and Spirit Fox are by far the 2 most annoying troops with it. Princess Fizzbang and Spirit Fox. Spirit Fox because it's a drain that you have no way to counter, though next patch you will. And her because you can't, she's a really huge mana generator that you can't do anything about whatsoever, which is really annoying. The only 2 ways to really deal with her is Corvash and Famine. And luckily both of them are usable on this brown Guild War day. And down it goes. Okay. Yeah, I should probably make that not my defend team, because that's basically my exact defend team. Their leader is using the same thing, yet, yeah, it does seem towards the weaker side for a brown day. Okay, well, now we know. And yep, exactly as I say, a really safe 9,200, perfectly fine with it. Pretty much just at average to slightly below average. Speaking of that, our scores did pretty bad today, or this week. We're definitely not Paragon next week. Nope, oh, did someone go 5-0 perfect? Yep. Someone got 5-0 perfect in my guild. Nice. Not seeing that many recently, though. Anyways, let's go and... what was the other thing I wanted to go check? Is this still 0? Poor Goblin team. 0-15. That is so sad. Even this team I thought was like slightly towards the weaker side even scored better than that. And I wasn't surprised that this one fended the best. The Forest Troll, Nyx, Kraken, Queen Mab. Honestly, I think that might be the strongest defend team in the entire game right now. That's like the new Scion, Ragnagord, Famine, Death right there. Is that team right there. Forest Troll, Nyx, Kraken, Queen Mab. It's going to be... I don't know if it's going to be stronger or weaker next patch. Nyx will be weaker and stronger simultaneously. It'll be stronger in that it has mana drain protection, but it will be weaker in that other things have mana drain protection. Meaning the AI might be so dumb that it tries draining something that has mana drain protection, meaning you would waste 13 mana, or the AI would waste 13 mana to do literally nothing and pass your turn, which would be abysmally bad for defending with. But invade-wise, I guess, but yeah, this team's probably not going to be as good starting next patch. And not to mention, Mana Shield not only blocks Nyx, but it also blocks Queen Mab, of course, because all of her damage is mana burn. So you just put like 2-3 mana shields and boom, you just won against that entire team. Not to mention Green Day has a lot of them too, so I would need to make sure I do it on a different day. Speaking of that, there's the exact same team except with a Dawnbringer variant. I personally prefer the other variant, but the Dawnbringer one works really well because it's even immune to freeze in a way, because Dawnbringer makes it so even if you get frozen, you still get good value. Also, hello Teutonic, hello Ironhide, welcome. Please buy 1 Highforge. Why are you so frugal? I don't know. Should we finally buy 1 Highforge? The main reason I am is because what if I need them to max them out later for when we're getting closer to 10-star kingdoms? Because once 10-star kingdoms come into the game, I'm going to be needing to throw all my resources there. And while I do use Highforge quite a bit at this current moment in time, getting them to Mythic isn't too huge a stat difference. And we're going to get them to Mythic probably when the next Mythic comes out in like a month. So I think I can survive 1 month, especially since starting next patch, we're only going to be getting Guild Wars 1 every 3 weeks anyways. So I would only need him for a short period of time once every 3 weeks. Because I only use him for 2 things currently. I use him for Brown Day Invade, and I use him for Red Day Defend. Those are the only 2 instances. So starting next patch, I would only use him twice every 3 weeks. And that's it. So I don't really need to get 1 more copy of him just to use him twice every 3 weeks. I know, it looks so weird seeing an orange troop in one of my main teams. Because everything you normally run in late games, like, maxed out everything. At this kind of level range, basically everyone has everything maxed. Also, don't forget, Florian still has twice the trait stones for, like, several more hours. For, like, what, 10 more hours? So definitely make sure to get that in while you can. Let me double check the forum. Normally this would be the time that we would go over any new troops. Unfortunately, because this is earlier in the day, and since they haven't done, there's no spoilers for Anywheres, no one really knows what's going to be. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm predicting we get 3 new troops tomorrow from Zora, or I mean Zolkiri. 1 being a legendary, 1 epic, and 1 common. Let's go with his prediction. Unfortunately, I don't know. Oh, all those would get Mana Shield too, or not Mana Shield. They would get that new Elf trait most likely. Not next patch. I mean, next patch they would, not now. But yeah, there's been no official response from what I can see. What it will be, and none of the spoiler threads have updated themselves yet. Let me go refresh them one last time and see if they have. But from what I can see, they have not. Let me just double check. Refresh that. Refresh this one. And all 3 of the spoiler threads give the verdict of nope. Yep, not updated there. Not updated there. And the forum says nothing either. So unless anyone has seen something somewheres, let me know. But otherwise, yeah, we have no clue what's coming out tomorrow, unfortunately. It's been very rare. Normally we know every single time. We'll know in a couple hours when they do the official post. But I don't believe the official post is up either. Oh, I probably should double check for that too. That's a fail. Normally they don't do it more towards like 7 o'clock. Because that's around the time when they actually get into the office in Australia. Because that's like 11 a.m. or something for them, 10 a.m. Was there 1 new post? Nope. Okay, it's still not up. Rip. Okay, so we're not going to be able to go over it for once. But we will, of course, be doing the video still tomorrow, going over all of it. It's just I can't do it, show it at all right now. Because we don't know what it is. You have 3,720 diamonds. You can't wait to create your fair Shra. Well, you won't be able to this week, unfortunately, because you won't be able to close that gap. But yeah, the next time you see it in the drop pool, you will be able to obtain it. Starting next patch, they are going to be running it on a cycle, so that if you happen to see, let's say, a fair Shra, it won't come back for another, like, several weeks. But it will go in a cycle so that all the troops will constantly keep going around. That's going to be good and bad. But at this current moment in time, it's slightly good, given that there's a fair Shra currently in the drop pool, because at this, how it's currently set up, every single week could technically be a fair Shra if we get lucky enough. So even though there's a fair Shra in the drop pool right now, it could be a fair Shra next week, could be a fair Shra the following week, who knows? It's completely random. But starting next patch, it will run through a cycle in which it would have to go through every mythic first before it goes through another one again. Okay, this is a really weird board right now, but we'll just keep exploding with that, and that's pretty much just going to be the match. I'll go get a Gorgoltha down. Do we even need another drain? No, he has 0 mana on everything. And 1 mana off. How unfortunate. I do have a drain, but not really going to get any value out of it. We're frozen on green, so you know what? Let's just throw this ability. There we go. And then World Breaker dead. Even if he drains, shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, he is indeed going to do it. Backup plan. Backup plan to that backup plan. We'll take a skull into the instant kill. And dead. And dead. And end your turn already. There you go. When will the next patch be? They're hoping to get it out sometime in February. Most likely more towards the end of this month. Though it could be early March if they get it delayed. But their goal is to get out 6 major patches this year. And the next patch is the first major patch of the year that they're going to be doing. But yeah, it's sometime in February, most likely. They have not given an official dates as to exactly when. But that is their goal, is sometime in February. Where to move, where to move. We'll go and take almost nothing. Because I need brown or yellow. Or a purple. All 3 of which are not around. Oh, yellow. Hello. Never mind. Didn't see it all the way up there. Get the Gorgotha down. And now we're good to go. Hopefully have alignment. And we do. And now we do. Yes, good. For a second I thought he took it away, but nope, it's still there. Let's go get Famine away because Famine. And World Breaker into everything else, and that's Smash. Yeah, it feels weird that Fairy Fire has only been in the game for a week now. It seems like such a crucial part of how the invades now work. It's almost mandatory to basically have it on your team. Not exactly mandatory, but it's just so much more damage when you get going. It saves a lot of time. Okay, let's get this drain down. Not like he has freeze or anything. And throw that down again, and that's wipe due to the high damage. There's currently nothing that goes over everything that the next patch is going to be doing. They will be posting a... They normally don't do that post until the patch actually comes out. They have been doing some Q&As and live streams where they've been spoiling some stuff and doing spoiler images and all that kind of stuff. But there's no concise place at this current moment in time that goes over everything that is in, or supposed to be in, the next patch. That doesn't actually come out until the patch actually launches. But some basic things are... heroes will now have every single perk, assuming you have them unlocked, instead of just one. Currently, you can only choose one, but starting next patch will be all of them. You will be... more weapons and possibly troops will be added to the Soulforge. I believe it was mainly weapons. They're going to be cheaper than what the past ones were, from how it seems, though. So it's not going to be like 1.3 million souls for a new weapon. It's going to probably be like the mid-tier stuff, or even like the really cheap epic weapons or something. Other than that, we are going to be getting a really huge change to Guild Wars. Guild Wars is only going to be tri-weekly starting next patch, meaning it will only be once every 3 weeks. It will be replaced with raids and some other thing. We know very little about both. So yeah, raids is supposed to be like this really challenging boss fight that keeps getting harder and harder the more you fight it. And we don't know what the other thing is at all. But yeah, it's going to be Guild Wars, raids, and some other thing that we don't currently know anything about. Other than that, they're going to be doing some rebalance changes. Dragon Soul's going to be getting revamped quite a bit. They're likely also touching up on a few other troops, but I believe Dragon Soul's the only one we know 100% for sure they're going to be touching. They're going to be completely changing its traits up, as well as possibly nerfing its ability just a little bit due to how effective it is in early game. Hopefully they don't do that aspect. Hopefully they'll just touch their traits, but I believe they will be touching up on the ability too. If they touch it too much, it's going to make it useless in late game. Well, we'll go throw down the Gorgotha, which will be bad because we kind of need him for those souls. He's a really good source of passive souls. Of course, there's other options, but most people do like using Dragon Soul. Dragon Soul is actually the most used troop on defend at this current moment in time. There isn't any troop that gets set more than him. That used to be Valkyrie a while back, but now it's Dragon Soul. Just so you guys know as well, setting a troop that has soul gains on your defend doesn't actually gain you extra souls. That might be another reason why so many people set it too, thinking that it does earn extra souls, but no, you don't actually get the souls from what your AI does. There's only 2 things you get from your AI defend. Whenever it happens to find a random gold key from taking a manual move, like for example, a manual move is us taking that up, but the actual cascade from it is not consider a manual move. But the gold keys that you get from that, and the gem that you get from a 7x cascade, normally that would be a treasure map in a normal battle, but whenever it happens within your AI control, it will give you a gem instead. The reason it does this is because back in the day, you actually used to, before treasure hunt was even a thing in version 1.05 or 1.5, whatever it was, treasure maps weren't even a thing until then, and before then you used to get a 1 gem for a 5x cascade instead of a treasure map to play the treasure hunt minigame. But of course now we have treasure hunt, but they still have the 1 gem left over from ages ago. That was like super, super old. Because treasure hunt came in within like the first 6 months of the game. Alright, we'll go throw that down. Get a ward breaker. They are going to be nerfing explosion composition teams in the future, most likely. But I don't believe they're doing it next patch, no. They're actually going to be doing something that's not necessarily going to nerf explosions, but something that will make it so explosions will be less desirable. They're going to be, they've been talking quite a bit about new troops that are going to have converts, similar to that of Valkyrie, Alchemist, let me see, Valkyrie, Apothecary, Alchemist, Hellcat, Greenseer, Giant Spider, and Keeper of Souls. Things like those kind of troops. They're looking to add those direct targeted converts with a secondary effect. Whatever they add related to those are likely to be very, very, very strong. Maybe even to the overpowered side, we'll have to see. But they are going to be implementing those into the near future. I don't believe any of them are coming next patch, but you never know. Maybe they will. But they have been mentioning that quite a bit as of recently, for whatever reason. I'll go move that down. But yeah, those are like some of the strongest troops in the game, though, those standard converters. So whatever they give those kind of abilities, if they give them anything too good, they might just become overran everywhere. And it would make for a lot more synergies, too. Because right now, with things like Alchemist, Hellcat, Greenseer, Giant Spider, with things like Rock Troll, Dark Troll, and all those kind of combo things, Forest Troll, Nyx, basically anything that can infinitely loop mana while still doing damage tends to be pretty potent. Because basically infinite mana in those two colors, as well as possible secondary effects. And if those secondary effects are too strong, you can just use those secondary effects, get an infinite loop, and then win off of just that alone. Yep, that was a complete fail. That's really bad. Luckily, that isn't a guard's avatar, or else we'd be out of luck right now. You know what? Let's go throw the Gorgoltha there. Get that going. Move that because we can. Throw the World Breaker, and should be good to go. And now one more poke will kill it. 1 mana off. Good job. Is there any way we can go get that one? Yes, we can. Do that. Get it. Dead. Play dungeons? I know. I won't forget dungeons. I know it's Diamond Day, too. Like, Sunday would be the worst day ever to forget it. If there was any day not to forget it, would definitely be today. Yeah, we'll go to dungeons real quick. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting. You can't get into them through the kingdom pages anymore. I always do that. Anyways, dungeon. Fight. It's kind of funny. Diamond Day is the most valuable day, yet it has some of the easiest battles to actually win against. I don't know why they have it set up like that. Every single one of the ones on Diamond Day are completely random as far as what their troop things do. It's Mimic, Mongo, and Nobbin Brothers are the three. And they're the 3 most random troops in the entire game, pretty much. Yet they're the 3 that are set up for Diamond Day, which is the most valuable day. I found that to be kind of odd. You'd think like the one that's most valuable, they would make a bit harder. I guess that's kind of good because that makes it so newer players at least have a better chance at getting these. These are still pretty easy to do as a newer player once you start getting some solid teams. By level 100 or so, you should be able to do these okay for the most part. There are some key troops that you kind of need, either Ocatris, Dragonian Monk, Tesla if you happen to have one, and basically anything that can either really help keep yourself protected or disable out the enemy is normally what you need for earlier on in the game, because the stats do get a little high towards the end battles, particularly if you're like have no kingdom upgrades and all that. Okay, we'll go and throw that up. Got that as well. That should be enough at this point. So we'll throw the Sunbird into Rowan. Actually, I should just throw Rowan first. That probably would have been enough, but oh well. Down it goes. And into the final one. But yeah, all it is a weak version of an all-goblin team. With Nobbin... If Fizzbang was in this, that'd be a completely different story. But without Fizzbang, that's actually pretty tame, what he's using right now. Okay, we'll go through that again. Get a Sunbird in there. For whatever reason, he didn't go for that extra turn. It allows us to do that into that, and then get the 2 of them. Throw that first in case he gets damaged. And now we just need one more little cast, and we're good to go. Doesn't really matter what we do it on, as long as we get it down. Take our extra turn, take our mana. Oops, I gave him brown. Luckily, he doesn't use it anymore. Take the blue. Oh, where's your last little bit of mana? Where are you? Okay, we'll go take that. Looks like we're getting Rowan up at this point. And never mind, Sunbird it is. And that's way more than enough damage. Even with no HP, we'd still have enough damage in that case. Well, obviously with no HP, we actually wouldn't because it would be dead. But yeah, 80 diamonds is quite a bit. The 50 gem to 80 diamond convert. That alone is, I would say, is actually worth it for me. For how much I actually need diamonds compared to most other resources. But yeah, really good value out of these. I definitely suggest if you guys haven't been already, if you're a newer player, if you have the spare diamonds, definitely, you don't have to do it every day like I do, But if you're going to do it on every day, definitely make sure to do it on Sunday. Because the convert that you get out of this, like the 2 gem keys, that alone is 20 gems right there. So you can basically just say that you're paying 30 gems for everything else. And for 30 gems, that is some really good value with all the other stuff you get. Anyways, let's go grab all that. It's also a great way to stock up on Celestial Trait Stones if you're low. Because those are a little bit scarce when you're first starting out in the game. They become like really overabundant later on, but when you're first starting off, that can be a little bit of an annoying trait stone to get because it's literally everywhere. So it comes down to pure luck if you're going to be getting it or not, and having to go out of your way to farm them can be a bit annoying because it's not really that possible, because the game kind of expects you to naturally gain a large amount over time, but if you're getting unlucky, then you don't. Yeah, I think we have more of them than any other arcane trait stone at this point because of how abundant they are. Yeah, 294. Yes, not a single one of my arcanes are above 300. So we have more of the higher rarity trait stone than any one single arcane. And as you can see, it's literally everywhere. There isn't a single place you don't get it from. Of course, its drop rate is very low, though. It's like 1% per battle. I think about 3% for Explorer, so somewhere around there. Have they said when the Sharktopus is getting added to the game? Hopefully tomorrow. I sure hope so. They keep delaying it. It was supposed to be like mid-January or so. Then it got moved to, we'll add it before the end of the month, you know, as in January. And then it turned into, I have no clue what it is now. Hopefully soon, TM. But yeah, they have not really given any official dates since their last official dates. So yeah, we're kind of out of luck on that. They're definitely adding it. It's already developed. It's the image of it is literally in the game itself. So I don't know why they haven't added it yet. Like if we go under troops that we don't own, it will show a Sharktopus there, even though it's not currently available. Everything is there, which is really odd. I guess it's maybe not working correctly or something. That's the only thing I could possibly think of. But that might not be the case either, because Salty has shown it on stream before and it was working correctly. So that can't even be the reason. I don't know why. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow we get Sharktopus. Maybe they were just waiting until after all the New Kingdom stuff came or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's no official date on that. If it does come out, let me go over that right now. So if it does come out tomorrow, I kind of already covered it. But yeah, let me go switch over there. Let's see, let's go over to troops, go over to unowned. Come on, load. Unowned, and there it is, right there. It's the only troop we don't have because it's not a much obtainable. But yeah, it's the Sharktopus, the community-made troop. It is a 12 mana cost, green-yellow. It destroys 8 gems of a chosen color, deals true damage to each enemy of that color. So if you, for example, aim at, let's say, yellow, you would hit every single yellow on the opposing team for true damage, as well as you basically just got yourself 2 out of 3 of your mana. 2/3 of your mana you just got up instantly. And if you get a Cascade, boom, there you go. You just got all of your mana out of that. So it works out decently. It's going to be a really weird troop to use. It's going to be like Dragonian Monk level weird as far as what you would actually aim it at and stuff. Because you have to prioritize, do you want the mana? There's 3 things. Do you want to do it for the mana that he destroys? Do you want to do it for the damage that he does? Or do you want to do it for the board control and cascades that he will create? So there's 3 different options that you can do with it as far as how you want to use it. And of course, what you target will depend on what you actually damage and everything like that. It's a really strange troop. Really creative, going to be fun to use. How viable it is could be questionable because it's one of those that is so weird that it might just not be viable. But of course on Guild War days this might be okay. The only big issue I could see is what if the AI doesn't use it correctly, which is a pretty high chance that the AI will not use it correctly. So hopefully they've coded that right. Because if the AI is useless with it, you might as well not even set it on defend. We'll find that out when it actually gets released though. As far as traits, it's basically useless. The only thing good on it's Water Link. Given that it's epic rarity, you can pretty much just ignore all the traits on it, since it's going to be too expensive for what you're actually getting out of it. Really hate when they give epics really bad traits. It's already bad enough that epics cost more than any other rarity, and then when they give it bad traits, it's like, okay, why even trade it in it then? But yeah, I really wish epics would kind of get their own unique trait. It was something suggested a while back, but they never actually implemented it. Probably for balance reasons. But that would be pretty cool if every epic was to get its own unique trait. Okay. Because they cost almost as much as a legend to trait. Very, very little less. It's only about 1/4 the cost less. It basically jumps up in about 3 to 4 times the cost between an ultra rare to an epic. It just out of nowhere goes and just spikes up like crazy in cost, despite epics having some of the worst trait combinations in the game. There's only about 10 epics or so that even have viable traits. First thing that always comes to mind is Mercy, but there are a few others, but a good majority are not worth it. Okay, what do we even need here? Well, let's go for the drain on Famine so he doesn't get to do anything. Have they said when the... Oh, never mind, I already entered that. Oh, you prefer Gorgoltha, Queen Titania, Great Giant Spider, and Queen Titania? Gorgoltha, Florian, Wardbreaker, or Glitterclaw? The second one, I would probably say, is what I prefer. The giant spider thing into them is kind of nice, but it's not really that big of a necessity. It was something I was messing around with earlier on in this week, but yeah, I would say that this is quite a bit better if you happen to have Wardbreaker. Of course, it does require a Wardbreaker, which is the biggest issue with that. Normally, when I try doing the Monday videos, I attempt to make them more towards the budget side. I know that doesn't always happen, but I don't try going for the absolute biggest thing. Because if I was, almost every new week team would have 2 Mythics on it, or Mythic and a Legend combo, which I know a lot of people don't have, so I try not to do that if I can. Maybe for one team I will, but I try to do it as minimally as possible. Otherwise, I'd have to do it for almost every single one if I truly wanted to show the stronger teams, because a good majority of the strongest teams do use Mythics these days, due to how many high-impact Mythics they've been adding, like Worldbreaker and such, Infernus, Elamagrim, all of the really heavy hitters that are just absolute sheer damage. And basically, the higher you get up in rarity, generally the more damage the typing does. They might not have as many utilities on them, but the damage is generally there on higher rarities. And a good majority of Legends and or Mythics are required for higher damage output teams, particularly later in the game when you were dealing with this high of HP and armor values on basically everything you ever face. Okay. What do we even need here? I guess the green to get him going. We'll take that. Give him so much extra turn, and a drain, and everything. Okay, that failed. Rip. I think that's over. Good. We're not dead. Okay, it's like we just went from about to win to we're not dead. Okay. What's the backup plan at this point? I guess brown so we get both of them. Okay, it didn't surge. That's a fail. And now it's dead. And yeah, there's no way to come back from that. We'll go try for taking that. Our damage source dies. Still winnable. Very barely. No, it's actually not winnable now. Never mind. He's just gonna get the drain. If he had no mana on anything right there, we could still win, but not gonna bother at that point. Okay. Is the Glitter Claw in the drop pool? Yes. The Glitter Claw is in the drop pool, but of course, so is every other legend, so it's not that easy to obtain. The easiest way to get it, if you still have any event keys or gems left, is to throw event keys. Event keys, there's only 2 legends that can possibly drop, and that is both the things that have Fairy Fire on it. The Glitter Claw and the Queen Titania. Both of those are in the event key drop pool, and they'll be the only 2 legends that will drop if you open the event key drop pool. But yes, in all other keys, they will forever be in the drop pool. But it's, of course, it's 1 out of however many legends there are in the game that you would specifically get them from the other keys. So it'd be very rare that you would specifically get them from other keys. So if you want to get them now, you have like about 10-ish hours, 9-ish hours, whatever the 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time reset is. You have about like 9-ish hours to go and get a little bit more gems and go try throwing it down on event keys if you do still want to try getting them. Yeah, there's still some time, and their event will come around again too. It's not like it will never come around again, but it might be a good couple months before it does. Okay, well, let's go and move that down. Go through the World Breaker. And there we go, another World Breaker. And it should be match. There we go, another World Breaker. I would hate if the AI ever does that. Normally it doesn't though, because it'll take the extra turns away or use some kind of other ability instead. The only way it would spam like that is if you put it in first slot, but that would be really bad putting in first spot because there'd be so many ways to counter it. like a Scion and, well, just a Scion. Mainly a Scion. A Scion would keep it perpetually never getting mana under AI control, so that'd be pointless. Anyways, let's take the Dbarrel there. But if we were to set this team under AI control, it would spam Gorgolfa way too much, and would spam Nyx, I mean not Nyx, would spam Florian way too much. It might get that Florian into some World Breakers, but I wouldn't get the loop as well as what a player would normally do. Because it's going to do a lot of weird things that just make it worse. Let's throw the Gorgolfa here. If it drains my last slot, that's not really too big a deal. It drained our magic too, but that's also not really that relevant. Hello, Anthony. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, if anyone still has any other questions, feel free to leave in chat. We'll be around for about another 15 minutes or so. And then I'm heading off and watching the game soon, TM. Let's see. About an hour from now, that would be. I'll go and get the World Breaker down. Okay, I hope you all enjoy the Super Bowl if you are watching. Or the commercials if you're like me. Someone was asking me in the other game I played, like who I was going to root for the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh, I'm rooting for the commercials. We'll go through that down. We'll go get the World Breaker. And another World Breaker. And that's match. Oh wait, that wasn't enough damage? Wait, did it take away that much of my magic? Wow. Wait, that new troop takes out that much magic? Oh, it does a random stat and it hit magic. That's why. It reduced my magic probably by like 30 something. Oh, let's go into the next one. Gotta get that Florian farming in while we can. Also, that reminds me, I still haven't finished the event for the week. Normally I don't when it's explore only. I also didn't end up getting EXP bonus today, so it's not going to be as viable to go out and go do it. Of course, if I had 100% EXP bonus, I'd be a little bit more tempted to. But without it, it's not really that big a deal. Newer players probably would, but the amount of gems and stuff that we would get from it, don't really need to worry about it. We have plenty enough resources without 50 more gems and 8 more gem keys. I believe that's what it is. Those are the 2 resources we're not going to be able to claim this week, I don't believe. But that's not too big a deal. That's only 130 gem worth of resources. Well, only. That's actually a pretty decent amount of resources. But relative to what we currently have accumulated, it's not too big. Okay, we'll go through the World Breaker. And down it goes. I'm starting to see my pile dwindle down, though. Particularly with the most recent Mythic and everything. I think we're down to, like, what? 16k gems or so? Somewhere's around there. Maybe I'll go farm Treasure Hunt or something to get more gems. It's a pretty slow rate of doing it, but they're quite a bit fun. Oh, never mind. We're even lower than that. Wow. Okay, yeah, we do have a gem problem. We're only at 12,610. I gotta be careful with those. But anyways, yeah, the current event objective is kill a bunch of Fae, which is either Forest of Thorns or the New Kingdom. Yeah, we haven't even... Wow. We're only 1/4 the way there. Mainly because I haven't been exploring that much. Though it does only take 2 hours, so maybe it is worth going for. Especially with how many Fae there is. Look at that. It's a full team of Fae. Normally you don't get that from exploring. But yeah, let's go kill these out real quick. Get a couple of rounds of them in. Maybe we can go get the 3 free copies. I believe it was the Patriots and the Eagles, right? Playing today? I would not be the best person to ask that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Patriots and the Eagles. Let's see. We'll go through that. I'm probably going to be rooting for the Eagles simply because I like Eagles. So, yeah. Not because of the team or anything. It's just like, oh, your mascot's an eagle. Okay, that works. Okay, let's go explore a bunch. We'll go throw down the brown firebomb, firebomb. And there we go. Oh, we didn't even need to do anything else. Wow, I think that's the first time I've ever won that with just firebomb alone, without actually needing to cast. It's funny. Firebomb into skull into firebomb and skull. Wish it would end in a tie. It's always pretty exciting when they are pretty close. That's the only thing I hate about football, or really any sport, is when the score starts to get so large of a difference between the two that you basically already know by halfway through the game who's going to win. I never really understood how that's fun. Like, when it's really close, I can see how that's a little bit interesting if it's, like, almost tied the entire time. But if someone's, like, triple the score of the other team, I don't know. I personally don't see how that's fun. because you kind of already know before it even happens who won at that point. Of course, things could change, but very rarely does that occur with that big of a gap. Let's see. Hey, we got a green-purple. Too bad we aren't in PvP right now. I'm not even trying to farm green-purple right now. I'm trying to farm Fae. I don't even know if we need more of them, but... I feel like whenever I do these on stream, I do get more arcanes. It's just stream luck. Every single time we'll end up getting an arcane whenever we go into explore. Even if we're just showing one team, and it's like, oh, okay, there we go. We just got a arcane already. So I do click through it too quick sometimes to even see what we get. I really wish that screen did go like a little bit slower. I do like that you can like instant click past it. But if you want to see the trait stone, it used to have a way to instant click past it before, but still show the trait stone. It doesn't do that as well these days, ever since they switched over to Unity. It's a really small detail, but like if you click the skip, it should automatically like show you what the trait stone is. Because that's the most important thing that you would want to know. Is are you getting a resource drop, and are you getting a what your trait stone is, and what the extra resource drop is? Because starting next patch, that was something else that's coming next patch that I didn't mention earlier. They're going to add resource drops to Explorer. How exactly this works, I do not know. Maybe you'll have to play a map on the Explorer if you want to try getting a resource drop or something. But they showed a screenshot with a 20,000 gold drop with a legendary border around it, which means like 1 to 3% drop rate most likely. Somewhere around there. But yeah, that's actually quite a bit of gold to randomly get with an Explorer, especially if there's other rewards that aren't just gold as well. Like maybe multiple trait stones or a bunch of souls or something else. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, they're doing something to revamp Explorer. They might actually buff it so much that it might be better than PvP, as weird as that may seem. Also, I don't know if they're going to be doing Kingdom exclusive kind of things. So, like, for example, maybe if you go and invade, let's say, Blackhawk Kingdom, maybe that will give gold. But if you go to, let's say, something like the Kedar Kingdom, which is all the undead, maybe you'll get the souls instead or something like that. And give basically every kingdom's explorer some kind of resource. Obviously, they can't give every single one a different resource, but that would be kind of cool if they diversified that up a little bit. Of course, Kazale would be a gold as well. Golvania would be souls as well. Sword's Edge and White Helm would be things like glory and those kind of things. Not sure if they're doing it that way, though. That would be pretty cool if they were. Let's see. We'll go throw down the firebomb, get that down, throw in. If you guys have anything else you want me to mess around with, just let me know before we end out. Should almost be up to the next reward. Actually, during the Super Bowl, maybe I'll just go farm these up. Might as well. During the duration of the Super Bowl, I could pretty much just finish this out really easily without any downtime. And dead. Also, I have been enjoying the Mythic Firebomb. I know it's not that big of a difference with only like 2 more damage, but it does come through on some battles, and when it does, it's really nice. Because it saves you basically 10 seconds approximately every time it gets a kill early, which adds up a lot if you're doing this hundreds of times in a row. Oh, also, we're getting a repeat button for Explore 2, which is going to be really nice. Instead of having to go through every single one of these screens over and over and over again, we will simply have one button at the end of the battle that will say repeat, question mark, or something along those lines. And if you click it, it will repeat the battle. Like right now, on this screen right here. Instead of just skip, it would have a repeat button as well. And if you click the repeat button, of course, you would play another Explorer. So instead of having to go through all these screens and do like 4 unnecessary clicks, you just click once and it'll automatically repeat itself. Not the exact battle, obviously, but a different Explorer battle. But, you know, same resources, same kingdom, all that kind of stuff. Sunbird dead. And there we go. Events, and we'll go claim that. Actually, that's actually really quick. We almost doubled the amount we had in, like, what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Probably more towards 10 minutes. Not sure how long we've been doing that at this point. But yeah, that's actually really, really quick. This kingdom keeps giving us 4, which is really nice. Out of every kingdom, this one does have the most. I believe it has 8 Fae, if I'm not mistaken. And the only thing that's closer, if you happen to not have this kingdom unlocked for whatever reason, is Forest of Thorns. Forest of Thorns has 7 of them, if you want to go do it there instead. So either or would work really well. Got a good red Queen Titania attack team for Guild Wars with no mythics? Yes and no. Yes, I do have one. No, it did not work that well. Also, it used a Mythic, but you can easily use something that's not a Mythic with it. Oh wait, I got rid of it, but I can go get it back. It's this team right here. It's I'm still using Mechanist class, aren't I? It was not Gorgotha. What am I doing? That's not red. Wrong team. Ragnagord. I would help if I put the whole thing in. It was Ragnagord, Dark Maiden, Queen Titania, and basically anything in last slot that you want as a support troop. As far as what this is, obviously a red-yellow or a red-blue would work best. I believe the cheapest one that's still viable is Goblin Rocket with 1 trait, and do it like that. And banner would be brown-red. Actually, you don't even need the red. No, brown-red would work. Never mind. So yeah, brown-red. And you could just go something like that. Or you could even go into a more red-centric banner as well, with like a +2 red or some kind of other thing. Yeah, something along the lines of this. It's not the greatest thing out there, but it will work. It doesn't work super late game, but it's only uses 1 legend, a rare, an ultra rare, and an epic. So basically all of the lower rarities, or all the mid-range rarities. It's pretty cheap. Most of these things are core troops that you would use in other teams too. So it's not like you're going out of your way just to waste resources for this team. Every single one of these you would use in different teams. Ragnagord's used in various teams for mana generation. Dark Maiden will be particularly useful next patch once it has mana protection, mana shield, or some kind of mana drain protection on it. It has the +1 for its green. It has web whenever it does these skulls. It also gets to transform to all yellow into whatever you want as well. And then you can use that to do it into red or into Ragnagord or into Queen Titania, depending on what you really want. Queen Titania, of course, for the fairy fires and the damage. And Goblin Rocket's mainly just here for board control, and because it's really cheap, you also get a +1 red, which works out nicely. Also, if they're running stuff, you also have fireproof, so they can't burn you. And you mainly just use this for board control and for some cleanup. Also, the 1 damage, adjacent damage, does get boost ratio to 2, if you're wondering if it will kill or not when they're fairy fired like that. I know that's not that big a deal, but it can make a difference sometimes. You're using Dark Maiden, Ragnagord, Queen Titania, Moloch. I actually ended up switching Queen Titania, Dark Maiden and Ragnagord, mainly because I felt like I needed the explosion more than I needed the quick Dark Maiden. The biggest issue with a quick Dark Maiden in that particular team is, what if there's no alignment? And that's why I went with the Ragnagord, because even if there's no alignment, Ragnagord still gets to do something. Dark Maiden does not, and that can slow down the battle too much sometimes. Of course, it is nice having her in first slot for the webs, but if the first slot on the opposing team doesn't really get much of a negative effect from having 0 magic, there isn't much a need to have Dark Maiden up there. But yeah, they are basically interchangeable as far as where you put them. Really just depends on what they're running. If their first slot is really bad entangled, then webbed, then you would definitely want to go and web them with her in first slot. But if it's something that has almost no effect when webbed, or like for example, well, Plague I guess is an okay example. He's impervious, so it does literally nothing against him. Let's say like Princess Elspeth, she would be pointless to go and web. It does determine her summon, but it's not really going to make too big of a difference since the main thing she's getting is her gem spawn. What else doesn't really get much of a negative effect? Unfortunately, there's nothing in either of these two teams that doesn't really get affected much by it. But there are various teams that, and various troops that, when webbed, they're basically the same thing webbed and non-webbed because they have such a low magic dependency. I don't think this will kill. Also, how does he have 2 mythics? She does Elspeth herself summon a war? She did. She does Elspeth herself and summon the war. Double mythic. Really? Well, luckily it's still one-shotted, but still. That's funny. I was wondering where the other one came from. Let's see. Is there anything in here that doesn't get any effect? Why? But yeah, you know, like there's things that don't really use magic at all and stuff like that, which if you web would not do anything. Of course, when I'm trying to find an example, I'll never get one. We'll go take a blue. Oh, that is not the extra turn. Swipe fails. Okay, we'll go and throw down the firebomb. Get that going. And just get the Rowan. What do you think about Wozzy? Like a tank? Oh, Wozzy. Gosh. He's like a really, really old school troop. He was the first troop ever added that was a new custom troop for event weeks. He was basically the first event week ever. There was technically 2 or 3 event weeks prior to him coming out, But he was the first one that was actually a new troop. The event weeks prior to that weren't actually new troops. They were troops that already existed within the game. But yeah, Savasi. Wow, such an old school one. But yeah, Savasi is pretty useless. It doesn't really get used for most things. As I said, it is pretty dated. They have updated him a few times. He is an okay tank. He has, I believe he's the only troop in the game that has both agile and a skull mitigation, which is kind of cool. He also has a skull reduction, so he has a lot of ways to basically reduce down skulls. But yeah, not only does he reduce attack on his ability, which also steals attack, he has a skull reduction, and he has a skull dodge. But yeah, I believe that's the only troop in the game with that combination, which is kind of cool. So he might dodge the entire skull, and even if he doesn't, he still gets a decent amount of mitigation. And with his attack reduction, you could basically make it so enemy skulls don't really do much. Particularly good against a skull spam team, because everything it does is really protective against it. But for the most part, no, he doesn't really have much of a purpose. I wouldn't really bother with him as a tank. There really isn't any way to get him going good enough to make it viable. Also, you would kind of need skull spam of your own to really fully use them. And at this current moment in time, skull spam is very bad relative to cast spam. This might change in the future, particularly when they finally add spell mitigation. But at this current state of the game, I would never bother with skull spam at this current moment. Very few teams would bother doing it. And the only few that would are things like Sakima, Inferno King, Nature Guardian, or Forest Guardian, whatever it's called, and Great Maul are about the only few skull kind of related things that are viable at the moment. Most other things are not even worth going for due to how ridiculous they are with Fairy Fire right now. How much more damage you can end up getting. But anyways, guys, if you guys have any other questions, leave them now. Otherwise, this will probably be the final battle for tonight. We'll be going over tomorrow morning all the new stuff that's coming out tomorrow. I honestly do not know what that is, though. Hopefully Sharktopus will be coming, not sure. We also don't know specifically what kind of event stuff is coming, but we'll just have to be surprised, I guess, for once. That or we'll have to see in about a couple hours when the post actually goes up. Because I believe they're still doing the post. I don't see why they wouldn't be. It's just all the spoiler threads don't currently say, so we actually do not know. When you play for Mountain Crusher team, what class are you using? Dragon Guard. Because I use Dragon Guard, Dragon Soul, World Breaker, and Fairish Ra. But yeah, I used a Dragon Guard hero class. I don't believe we have a free change right now. No, 3 hours, 13 minutes. But yeah, I use, where'd it go? Dragon Guard, right here. The main reason for this is because you get the extra bonus to all your dragons when fully traded, which gives 1 life and 1 magic to all dragons on your team, which is quite substantial, particularly the magic part of it. You can spam that for a very decent amount of damage. Let's see. When I stream in the morning? Well, on Fridays and Saturdays, we stream at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is... How many hours prior to now is that? So that normally starts like 7.5 hours prior to now is when we do that. Other than that, we stream every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than tonight because Super Bowl, which is normally 2.5 hours from now. And those are basically the 2 times that we stream. The only reason we're streaming at such a weird time today is because of the Super Bowl. But yeah, normally it's completely different times than what we're doing right now. Which is somewhat unfortunate because, yeah, I do understand for most of Europe, the time that I stream at night every single day is a little bit of a weird time that some people might not be able to catch due to time zones. Mainly Europe area. And all that kind of area surrounding it. Okay, we'll throw that down. And how do we not have mana? Okay, let's just take the last little bit that we need. And we'll be good to go. Take it that way. Trying to find a way that won't give it an extra turn. Actually, we got an extra turn out of it. Hey, you even had a Glitter Claw with that 20%. But anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for today. Thank you all so much for coming down. We're always too late for the codes. We actually didn't give out a code today. We normally only do that on Monday nights, Friday morning stream, and Saturday morning stream. At this current moment in time, I actually have 0, so hopefully Salty will get around and add more. She most likely will when Australia becomes daytime. She'll do it later tonight, because later tonight is midday Australia, like noon. So when they get into the office, then she'll most likely have it out. That's also why the spoiler thread for Monday, or not the spoiler thread, but the thread that the devs actually post going over the thing, is normally at this night. They actually do it on their morning, but because their morning is so far ahead of every other time zone, it's actually at night in most other people. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys will have fun with the Super Bowl, any of you that are watching. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and the rest of your weekend as well. There's still technically some hours left in it. But anyways, guys, I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for coming down, and we'll be going over the event tomorrow, whatever that might be. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone.